to film this video so many times. Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Sarah, and if you're returning, it is lovely to have you back here. In today's video, I will be filming my October TBR using TBR prompts from my little paper cup. I did this video last month and I used a number generator. However, I just found I didn't really enjoy doing that way, so that was one of the reasons why I decided to switch it up this month. I also got a TBR cart, as you can see, so a lot of my books have been missed around, so all my TBR is on here rather than on my bookshelf because I wanted to make my bookshelf look really pretty. I'll insert a photo of what it looks like now. I'm very proud of my work. So that is why I've chosen to do a little fun twist on it this month. Before I start drawing from the cup, I have 3 books that I will be discussing that are already on my TBR for this month. The first one being Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I've started this book this month, however I highly doubt I will finish it by the end of September. If I miraculously do, then that will be great, and I've just added it into this video for no reason, but I'd rather add it into this video than not. If you don't know what Binding 13 is about, it's kind of been everywhere at the moment, so I'd be very surprised if you hadn't heard of it. But it's set in Ireland and it follows Johnny and Shannon. They both go to Thomond College. Shannon has just moved to this college due to the severity of the bullying she received at her local public high school in her area or in her town. You kind of, at the moment, I'm only 100 pages in, so it's very much getting the backbone of the story and what is happening, so there's not really much I can say without spoiling at the moment. I will say though, if you do want to pick up this book, I would look up the trigger warnings. Going into this book, I actually had no idea the severity of the bullying and things discussed in this book. Rachel Catherine spoke about it when she read it on her reading vlog, however she's the only other person I've heard of speak about it, so I just want to put it out there that I would really consider reading the trigger warnings before you go into it. I could never figure myself if I did not give you guys the warning that you deserve going into a book, because there's nothing worse going into a book without a trigger warning and it having quite a big effect on you. The next 2 books I will be talking about are actually 2 books that are part of 2 book clubs. So the first book club I am a part of is one with my co-worker Olivia. This month we both realized we have a found love for books and we both have a similar interest in the same books, so we started a book club, and our first book club meet is not until November. So I've already read my August read, my September read, and now we are on to our October read, which is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I'm so sorry about the lighting, literally the wrong time, but it's the only time I could film this video. So The Housemaid is by Frida McFadden, and it follows a housemaid who works for the Winchester family, and she is quite suspicious of the wife Nina Winchester, who seems to make a mess on purpose for her to clean up, twists strange lies about her daughter, and her husband, Nina's husband, seems to be quite broken as the days go on. And then the housemaid decides to try on one of Nina's dresses. Nina seems to find out, and the housemaid finds herself locked in the room. So that is kind of the synopsis of the book from the blurb I have read, and it sounds so interesting. Honestly, when I first picked up this book, I purely thought it was just a thriller based on the housemaid kind of witnessing a murder, but this just sounds really cool. I did not even think that it could be a housemaid versus like the wife or something like that, so I'm very excited to pick this up this month. And then the final book is part of our second book club, which is technically like a really relaxed book club. It's not like a book club. So it's Sophie Miller on YouTube. If you don't know who she is an Australian YouTuber who I adore. She's friends with Rachel Catherine, Georgia Richards, those lovely people, and she made this thing on Instagram. I don't know what they're called. Are they called like a broadcast channel or something of that nature? It's called a channel. So she made a channel, and it's a book club channel, and she put a poll up yesterday to pick for October's read of Powerless, Flawless, or Once Upon a Broken Heart, and everyone voted for Powerless, and Olivia and I are both part of this club, so we voted for Powerless, and we're very excited to see how it goes. And the fun thing too is we've decided that if for the month of of our book club, if we don't get to pick a book in time or we just don't get around to the book, we can always just read the book that's on that channel, and we've got a book to talk about or an additional book to talk about. So we thought that was really fun. This book is by Lauren Roberts, and this lovely author wrote this book during COVID and discussed it on TikTok. I remember seeing vlog after vlog of her writing this book, and it totally just slipped my mind because obviously it disappeared from my For You page. Then it came back on my For You page a couple months ago before it blew up, and then in the recent months it's actually blown up and people have been raving about it. So I'm super duper excited to pick it up. Set in the kingdom of Elia. I'm gonna go with Elia, and it's got elites who have possessed powers for decades gifted to them by the plague. Those who were born ordinary were banished from the kingdom and shunned from society. The main character, Payton, is an ordinary, however she poses as a psychic to blend in with the elites. She coincidentally saves one of the princes, Kai, and so she's thrown into the purging trials, which is a brutal competition showcasing the elites' powers. This just sounds really interesting and a bit of a different storyline. I honestly personally love reading fantasy books that kind of take from other fantasy plot lines. Like elites kind of reminds me of Divergent Sectors, the Hunger Games vibes that, you know, the trials give. I really enjoy it because I feel like people are able to twist such simple things like that into such unique new kind of plot settings. So I'm very excited to pick this book up, and yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. So those are the first 3 books that I will be kind of aiming to read this month. So I'm going to pick 3 more for this month, and let's see how we go. An author you've never read. Okay, well, funny enough, I actually have a few on here that I could choose from. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I've actually got so many. I honestly don't know what to pick because I have Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark, Flawless by Elsie Silver, Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole, From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata, Hooked by Emily McIntyre, Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, Archer's Voice by Minnie Sheridan, The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, The Lover's First Sprite by Anne Lee Colin, and My Oxford Year by Julia Whalen, Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie, Love Your Life by Sophie Kensler. There are honestly, literally, like, I could go on. Oh my god, that's a lot of pressure to put on me. I'm going to come back to this prompt purely because I'm thinking in my head at the moment, The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. However, there are also prompts that would go along with that book. So I'm going to pick out 2 more and then I'll base my choice off of those. I don't know if that's classified as cheating, so don't come for me if it is. I just feel like if I do it this way, it gives me less variety, which kind of is the intent of the prompts, if that makes sense. It makes me choose books that I haven't necessarily picked up in a while and have just been sitting on my TBR cart. So I will come back to that one. What do we got? A book with a 1-word title. Okay, we've got Hooked. That actually might be my one book. Yes, I actually have only one book. How funny is that? So my 1-word book for this month, oh my god, I'm actually so excited about this. Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This book follows a guy called James who has the intention of destroying his enemy Peter Michaels. Peter's daughter is 20 years old and her name is Wendy, and she shows up to James's bar, and so he has the goal of seducing her and using her for his revenge, and then things obviously go sour because nothing is perfect in a book. That would not be a book, that would just be not a reality that I would love to be part of. Yeah, I'm very excited to read this book. I have heard good things about it. It is a never after retelling. If you couldn't tell by the names I just mentioned, this is an entire series, and I'm really hoping I enjoy this book because I want to be able to pick up the rest of the series. I really want to be able to pick up the rest of the series. The sun is literally right on me. I'm so sorry. So yes, this is my next pick for the month, and then my final prompt, but my second choice of books. A book that starts with a random letter. So I've got to generate a random letter P. So it has generated the letter P. Do I even have any books that start with the letter P? Right, so I guess we're gonna have to generate another letter, L. Definitely have an L book that I can find. There's one. I'll just check there's no other one. Nope. Alright. Do you know what? This is probably good because I haven't gotten to this book. So the book is Love Your Life by Sophie Kinsella, I want to say. This book, oh my god, the lighting. I'm so sorry. This book has been on my TBR for almost 2 years. It's embarrassing. Oh my god. Okay. I have no reason not to pick this book up. I don't know why I haven't picked this book up. I could not tell you why. I have no reason to not pick this book up. So this follows a character called Ava who is sick of online dating. So she takes a break and signs up to a semi-silent anonymous writing retreat in Italy. She meets a stranger who she basically falls in love with, and him vice versa, on this writing retreat. And then when they return home, reality hits and they both are driven mad by their weird quirks and annoying habits. From his eccentric naked sauna loving family to her terribly behaved shirt straighting dog. This book kind of just sounds like a really fun, relaxing, chill read. So I'm very excited to see what this is like. Again, I've never read a book by her, so I will have to see how it goes. And I've had no reason to not pick up this book, and this book is literally less than 400 pages, so I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. So then it brings me back to my first prompt, an author you've never read. The book I'm going to pick is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. Again, I've had this book on my list for so long. It follows two characters, Rowan and Zara. It's given like two people's perspective. I'm probably like the last person to read this book, so I don't actually know why I'm sharing my synopsis of this book, but it follows two characters, Rowan and Zara. Rowan is an entrepreneur who is renovating Dreamland and hired Zara, who he falls in love with. Zara submitted a drunk proposal criticizing Dreamland's most expensive ride. She didn't get fired. Rowan offered her a dream job, the catch being that she now has to work with the most difficult boss. Rowan is rude and completely off limits, but she's also catching feelings. But there is a secret that seems to be on the brink of destroying their relationship. So again, something different. I just like the idea of there being like an entrepreneurial kind of situation. I think that's so fun, and I think could be a good read. So we shall see how it goes. So to do a little recap, I'm going to sort this out and then we can recap the books that I will be reading this month. So the books I will be reading for this month are The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, Love Your Life by Sophie Kinsella, Hooked by Emily McIntyre, Powerless by Lauren Roberts, The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, and Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Also keeping 13 if I really like the series, because I will be buying it tomorrow. Can hear you scratching the door outside. So Odie has joined us. He was scratching at the door as I was filming this video, so I thought I'd let him in. However, it's now taking me 2 minutes to try and film this outro, so I'm going to do it quickly. Those are the books that I will be reading in October, hopefully. We shall see how we go. I am most definitely a mood reader, so the likelihood of me adding books to this TBR are very, very high, but we shall see how we go. I will most definitely also be filming a reading vlog at some point this month, so look out for that. And I hope you'll have a lovely rest of your day, night, wherever you are, whatever time you're watching this. And oh my goodness, teething puppies. I shall see you in my next vlog very, very soon. Bye guys. You gonna say bye? Are you just gonna be a pain in the bottom?